Hate when that happens. Holy cow, sweet. It's intact. On other scooters that we've tested with turn signals on the handlebars, the plastic shatters when it hits the ground, but because this has this rubber cover, it's protected. Strong work, Vmax. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Freshly Charged. Jimmy Chang, Andrew Nutaprita, and Dalton Crowell. Today, we are fortunate to have Dalton because we are looking at two scooters that we've already seen in the past, we've reviewed in the past, but they've come out with a refresh. Sometimes sequels to movies suck, like the remakes that Disney's made in the last 2 or 3 years. Sometimes sequels are awesome, right? Like Dune 2 was really good, Dark Knight trilogy's amazing, Toy Story 2 is really good. Well, here we have these scooters from Switzerland, and they are refreshed, upgraded, and they are pretty darn sweet for a lower price. Andrew, what do we have to expect?
This is the VX4 and that is the VX2 Pro. They fixed the two biggest issues that we had with the scooters in the past. One was the price, and second is the top speed.
In general, they go faster and they're less expensive.
And this one also has disc brakes now.
All right, and what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna let Dalton, who is an experienced scooter rider, try both of these scooters, see what he thinks with the Swiss engineering. I think he's already impressed by the speed because you did, tell us what happened earlier.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this little guy to have so much torque in it. I accidentally popped a wheelie here. I don't know if you can see that, but just scraped off the back end, a little bit more powerful than I was expecting. So I'm impressed right away.
That was within like a block from after we started riding. He's already popping wheelies and jumping off curbs. So he is ready to put this to the test, and we're going to see if Dalton can be impressed by his first ever Swiss engineered scooter, refreshed for 2024.
Things have changed a little bit on this though. Now we have a throttle that goes up to 25 miles per hour. You have a brake lever for the front, which is a drum brake, and a brake lever for the rear, which is a disc brake. Turn signal indicators on the handlebars.
And the cool thing about these turn signals is they have a soft rubber cover to help in case you drop the scooter, it doesn't shatter your light.
And then it also has this really cool color display. It shows you the watt that's being outputted on the display, shows you the mileage, and it also shows you like your power levels. Moving down, you have front suspension, a 10 by 2.75 inch pneumatic tire, big deck, nice and beefy, and it does come in 3 battery sizes. So that's what's nice about the scooter is you can choose the battery size depending on what type of range you're looking for. One other cool feature, Dalton, is this rear hook of how you lock the scooter into place. How this locks in is you have this little hook. It's not going to fall out of place no matter how hard you shake, but it's nice and hidden and your foot isn't sitting on some type of hook. A lot of scooters that lock into themselves, they have a hook that protrudes out of the tail part and your foot has to sit on top of it, so it feels really uncomfortable. You also have a rubber cartridge suspension in the rear, 160 millimeter brake disc with nut mechanical disc brakes, and another 10 by 2.75 inch pneumatic tire.
Andrew and I have already been on this, we've tested it. We're gonna let Dalton have a taste.
Honestly, right off the jump, you talk about Swiss engineering. I mean, the thing is just a quality premium build. Anything from just looking at the welds where everything is connected, or the grips, or the handlebars, even the LCD display, all of it is just fine, crisp, high quality stuff. And I can tell that right off the jump.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I love the little features in this that we really haven't seen in any other scooters, just like the turn signals with the extra protection so that you don't have to worry about breaking the lights when it falls over. Those little touches, you realize you're paying for a little bit more than just your average discount scooter.
Something else I also really wanted to mention was these grips right here. Never seen anything like this on any sort of PEV that I've personally experienced. Like Andrew said, they're like mountain bike grips, and your hand isn't going to slide off because there's this rubber cap on the end that's going to hold it on there. And then the actual grip itself, even if you're sweaty or your hands are cold, you've been riding all day, your hands are weak, I feel like I'm not going to lose stability at all here. Now, speaking of stability, the suspension on this thing, it is a bit stiff or firm, I guess is a better way to put it. And that may be your thing. I personally love a super springy, bouncy suspension because I like to go off-road, hit jumps. I like to really feel the scooter just moving up and down. This thing seems a little bit more solid, which is also maybe a good thing. If you're looking to just ride on the streets, you're not looking for different kinds of coils or adjustments. You just kind of want something solid that's stable, that you know when you hit a bump, it's going to react the same way every time. So yes, it has suspension on here, but but I would say it's a bit on the firm side.
Since Dalton's a lighter rider, I understand why he feels like it's more stiff and solid. For me, being a heavier rider, I prefer a stiffer suspension because coil suspension can feel really bouncy for me because I can easily compress it and it just feels like it gets loose on me too easy. Where firm suspension really makes me feel solid and that I'm stable at higher speeds.
And we may be reviewing these scooters right here. I'm reviewing Dalton, and I have to say he did an excellent job going over this scooter. This is totally unscripted. We just kind of go by the seat of our pants and we share with you guys how we feel. I love Dalton's insight on this scooter. And I mean, in general, is there anything that you would improve? What would you change if you could change or improve one thing on this scooter?
Honestly, for me, I think the price was high and they have brought down the prices and brought up the speed, which are two of the things that I probably would have changed. I still think the price is high, but I don't think it's a bad price. What I mean by that is a Cadillac or an Audi, it is a high-priced vehicle, but you get what you pay for. So I think this is a high-priced scooter, and if you're looking for a nice, prestigious scooter, this is worth the money, especially now that they have brought down that price. I think the only other thing I would probably add is maybe an option for a more damp or more plush suspension for lighter riders like myself.
It is a fairly priced scooter. It's not going to be your budget scooter that you're going to find in Walmart, but it's going to be something more middle and high end. If you guys think Dalton did a good job on that, give the video a thumbs up and leave him a comment down below. It'll help him keep his job. So it goes to show you that they watched our prior video. We made a review video about both these scooters. Our main complaints were it's too expensive and it didn't go fast enough, and they changed it. So I love that they listened to our complaints and they upgraded and updated their products to reflect what the community wants. Let's talk about this other scooter that we have here.
Yeah, the VX2 Pro, very similar in design of the cockpit, except for this doesn't have that big color LCD display. It does have some color to it. Instead of having a separate display, it's embedded into the steering pole. You have turn signals on the edges that are also protected with rubber. Same type of grips with the finger holes. Regen brake lever on the right and mechanical drum brake lever on the left. A way to lock it itself when folded. And it does come in also 3 battery variations. One thing that's nice about all the Vmax scooters is they don't just come in one battery size. You can pay for a larger battery, smaller battery, whatever fits your needs. Moving down the steering pole, you have a 10 by 2.7 inch tubeless pneumatic tire with the drum brake in the front. Different size battery depending on what type of model size you get. And you have a 500 watt motor with a peak output of 1300 watts. A rear light that also acts as a brake light, regen braking, and some more turn signals. It's a 500 watt motor, but the torque on this is insane because as soon as you press on the throttle, whoa, I almost killed Dalton right there. The front end just wants to lift up. That's pretty much how Dalton had this do a wheelie on him. You wouldn't think that a scooter this size and this small of a motor could actually have that much torque, but it's really crazy how impressive these scooters are designed.
This is very much the more lightweight commuter scooter, and we're going to let Dalton take this for a spin and see what he has to say about it.
This thing was super zippy and insanely torquey. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I know we've showed you a couple times, but you have to be careful because it has a lot of power that you just don't expect. It's a much skinnier deck. It seems smaller and lighter all around, but yet it still just will snap your neck back with the amount of power that it holds. I took a huge jump. You all saw maybe like a 2-foot drop off of this thing. I do prefer the suspension that comes on that one. But this thing still felt entirely solid the whole time. There were never creaks, there were never rattles of weird noises that I wasn't sure what that was moving around. You can tell it's just a solid build overall and just like a more small compact version of that one, and I am very impressed.
Andrew, any other thoughts about the VX2 Pro?
I just like that they're making changes, you know. We complain, some manufacturers, they could really care less what we say and they're not going to make any changes, but I like that we complained about this just a few months ago and they're already improving and making a change for the US market.
We have done full video reviews of both of these scooters. Be sure to check both of them out. It's refreshing to see that Vmax has taken the feedback that we've given to them and they've made a more superior product at a lower cost. Check out our full written review at freshlycharged.com. Thanks for watching, and when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.